Mrs.Dole is out of control. Chapter 3, The Good Old Days. Mrs. Daisy came in with our reading teacher, Mr. Mackey. They were holding hands and making goo-goo eyes at each other. Ugh, disgusting. Mr. Mackey said he would meet her in the teacher's lounge at lunchtime. There's our asterisk, so we're going to follow it down here. Footnotes usually have something to do with the thing in front of the asterisk, but not always. Mrs. Daisy and Mr. Mackey haven't been married very long. That's why they're so mushy with each other. Once they've been married for a few years, they'll stop doing all that mushy stuff. My parents have been married for like a century, and they hardly ever do mushy stuff. Are you sick, Mrs. Daisy? Asked Emily. Mr. Klutz told us you went to the doctor. It was just a checkup, she replied. Let's get to work. It's time for our word of the day. Today's word is unique. What does that mean? Asked Michael. I have no idea, said Mrs. Daisy. Who doesn't know anything? Does anybody know what unique means? Andrea stuck her hand in the air, of course. Little Miss I Know Everything keeps a dictionary on her desk, so she can look up words and show everybody how smart she is. But Mrs. Daisy called on me instead. Unique means furniture that's really old, I said. My mom has a unique table. Everybody laughed, even though I didn't say anything funny. That's antique, dumbhead, said Andrea. Unique means something that's one of a kind. Oh, snap, said Ryan. I knew that, I lied. But a really old piece of furniture that's one of a kind is unique. It's a unique antique. Nana boo-boo on Andrea. In her face. No wonder I'm in the gifted and talented program. After we finished our word of the day, it was time for writing. I hate writing. The school year is almost over, Mrs. Daisy said, as she passed out pieces of paper. Let's write our favorite memories of second grade. Mrs. Daisy told us to close our eyes and remember some of the nice things that happened since September. Remember the time that Mrs. Rupee dressed up like Johnny Appleseed? Asked Andrea. Yeah, we all said. Mrs. Rupee is loopy. Remember the time we went on a field trip and Mr. Docker ate a bug? Asked Ryan. Yeah, Mr. Docker is off his rocker. Remember the time we drove that substitute teacher, Miss Todd, crazy, and she ran screaming into the parking lot? Michael asked. Yeah, Miss Todd is odd. I couldn't decide if I should write about the time Mr. Klutz was hanging from the flagpole or the time that Neil the Nude Kid's ferret pooped on Emily's head. Remember the time we had a food fight in the vomitorium? Neil asked. Yeah, that was great. I must admit, even though I hate school, we had some fun in second grade. Those were the good old days, I said. Remember the time we had a sleepover in the Natural History Museum and a giant hissing cockroach crawled into Emily's sleeping bag? That happened last week, Arlo, Andrea said. So did your face, I told her. Mrs. Daisy said I had to go to the ladies' room and that we shouldn't get started writing while she was gone. As soon as she left, I crumpled up a piece of paper and threw it at Andrea. You are so immature, Arlo, Andrea said. Maybe you'll get held back. Huh? I asked. What do you mean, held back? Didn't you know, Andrea said? They take the bad kids and make them repeat the grade all over again. You're a bad kid, so you might get held back. What? Could they really do that? If I had known they make kids repeat a grade, I would have done so much better.